Are we on, guys? On live?
Yeah, on the thing.
Live and direct, some off-air conversation that was happening, so that is good. We all love the off-air. So we are on Facebook. We are live. Good. For your phone on silence there, guys. You know, funny enough, our off-air conversation again. I got some calls today. Messages today asking, hey, the DeBrief TV show on today? I was like, yeah. You know, people were like excited to like have the discussion, and people were like, yeah, I can definitely tune in. So be happy to see that people are actually, you know, eager more so than ever to see the show and to hear and wait for us to come on. So, you know, that was a good feeling to know that we are actually touching some people. Want to share some statistics tonight. Some other things so people can understand the reach.
Some just stopped me and cursed me the other day.
That may be a norm for you.
No, man, they were critiquing the show. And they were giving us their opinion as how they think we do the show and what we should do better. And you know, I want to say to those guys, they don't know who they are. Thank you for tuning in. And we definitely take the viewers' concerns on the serious consideration. But we will continue to be a show of the people for the people.
Yeah, I think first of all is people understanding what this show is all about. Whereas young people, we share our opinion, we share our views, we share a number of things as it relates to what we do or what we see, what we hear. Yeah, Corey's big enough. Kimar for the GS for joining his role as thing. So that was really good. But yeah, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And as we said, you know, we just here for the people. We share our views. Our views may not always be something everyone agree with. But fair enough, we share it, we indulge people. People love the show. The show has been growing. People have seen what we're doing. We got good people keep coming on and bigging us up to continue the work we do. You know, we have people that see the show as an every week program now. So we are just here. Nobody pays us. We are all different political class, all different walks of life, but we just bring our show to you, you know, just to have these discussions. To topics are important. Having a view and opinion. Some people may not always be able to call in on those other radio stations. Some people may not have the opportunity to do it like other people. And this may be some people's only opportunity to speak. So this may be some people's only opportunity for others to hear what we have to say and to hear what they have to say. And that is why it is important, not just to judge it, but just to give it a time. We are young people, we are maturing, but at the same time, we feel that we always have a right.
How old are you, Kimar?
I'm only 30, 30, little bit, 32, I think.
You're 32?
32, yeah, I just turned 32 in August, B.
I'm sure how old you is, man.
Well, you know.
Like, you say we are all young people, but you know, we got a toddler in the group here.
Toddler. You see toddlers, boy, here? Big man, you call them toddlers?
No, but I want to, before we start the show, I want to embrace my friend Kimar Stewart for the position of General Secretary of the Democratic Party.
Corey just big him up as well on that. So
Kimar, you're doing great things, brother.
Both steps, and we welcome that. As I said, we all have our own different political views. We all have our own different political parties. I'm always struck between two Ds, two Bs. But nevertheless, that we the video, or it's something depending on how he copied the link. But we want to really thank everybody. We really want to show our support behind any young persons that get into politics, because it's a lot. It's not just about the politics of it, but the sacrifice that comes into play is the fact that we as you know, we have to put aside so much, or the politicians have to put aside so much. Sacrifice your party. This is your party that me and Warrell joined the other day. Warrell, you remember the party that made you join?
That's my friend Corey World.
Corey World, he just here trying to put me by his spot, but he asked if you remember the party that he joined. But it's
What party you join?
You always like Corey Lane shadow cabinet.
Yeah, and I think it's not a correlation shadow cabinet. It was a think tank there for young people that had vision that could have been used by political parties or not. So just like, you know, some of us may never have the opportunity to run a GS or to be the big boys party, but you know, we're still valuable players in the game.
I was third vice chairman for the Barbados Labour Party.
Correct. So, you know, we all have our role to play. Divine, Isis, King, greetings to you. You were one that messaged me today about coming on, that we were coming on. So, yeah, we really appreciate it. So we're about to start. So we just want to say welcome, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the DeBrief TV show. We appreciate everyone. Yeah, we definitely got to get Leon on the show. We want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. We want to say welcome. We want to say thank you. We want to impress upon you just to like the page. You would have seen that our clip would have been pulled last week and featured in the major news networks such as Barbados Today, Starcom, Nation. They pulled some clips for us. We advocate. We were happy that they pulled from us and that they also credited our show. So it means that it shows that we are reaching people. We are gladly sharing opinions that people like and value. You can also fight fairly from outside or from the outside. Yeah, so yeah, it's true. So we were glad that people could have seen us, people could have used the clips that we had. Our guests were able, the information was pulled from the guests, and we're glad that each of us that were on were credited. And the show was credited, so I'm happy to see that we can reach and we can think. So yeah, Corey, guys that are on, I know that we're gonna have a good conversation tonight. We're talking about the unions. There's no panel tonight, so we thought that we would have a night for ourselves because we haven't had one for a while, where it's just us talking and just us debriefing as it was in the beginning. Probably so shall it be in the end. But yeah,
you saying this is the last show?
No. I mean, like, I just use that, I would say. So we want to discuss the union. I know, Corey, you've been tackling a number of things as the union. We've seen things unraveling in the union. I think it started to be a very good conversation because, one, we've seen the NUPW now with their challenges as it relates to their general secretary versus their president. We've also seen the BSTU and also the BUT looking at things such as the schools reopening, the challenges against them and the minister. We've also seen, who was the other, BW talking about the laying off of workers and people using the 23 or the 28 days against the workers, or rather where it should be for the workers. So we want to touch on each of the unions. We want to see where they're at. And we want to hear your comments, what you think about the union. So we are discussing the unions today. We are discussing them. Where do you want to start? We're seeing this thing. Well, we can start with the NUPW. We don't know much, but we're just having conversation. We're not pointing fingers or we're not looking to degrade anyone. But we are seeing, I would have heard the general secretary at the time, I think it was acting, was talking about retiring. And we found that from the time she made mention about retiring, we saw then the return of the original, as you say, oh, I get that one, Corey. We saw the president came back, the general secretary came back in. That was pretty funny because she came back in after being, I think, a good couple months, over a year away from the job. Well, Miss Burke ran the NUPW, and then after announcing her retirement at the end of the year, then we saw the general secretary come back and going back in the position. I heard Senator Caswell spoke as the rep for her, said, I knew nothing about this. This was shocking to him. I think it was shocking to a lot of us, seeing that the substantive union rep, Rosalind Smith, was out of the position for so long. So I know what you guys have to say, you the public, what you have to say about it. We're taking call-ins. Kimar, what's the number there?
846-9912.
846-9912 if you have anything to say. So what you want to say about the union? I sense here saying that the unions are discreet. I found personally that over the years the union have lost their way, and I said it publicly. I think that unions have lost their way. I think there is a purpose for unions. Don't get me wrong. There's always a purpose and a reason for unions, but I think that they have lost their way substantially. Some blinded by rather be political interference, some blinded by other means and other things. And I think that really numbers are also depleting. The numbers are actually depleting gradually. I would always encourage people to be a part of a union because a union represents or should represent a body of people. But this thing with the president, with the general secretaries now, and the president having this battle, what kind of message do you think it sends people? What type of message do you think it sends people that want to join membership as it relates to NUPW?
Well, good night, everyone. Thank you guys for the endorsements. I want to say first, congratulations to Dr. Simon Natrum on being appointed to the board of the central bank. I love to see young people, particularly young economists, excelling in their fields.
Nice.
So congratulations to Simon. In regards to the unions with NUPW, where Walter Smith is coming back into the fray, I heard a comment from Akani McDowell surrounding the use of the union's funds for personal expenses, which was an allegation made towards her. I don't know if disciplinary measures were taken at the time and what would have been the cause for the extended period of time which caused Ms. Smith to be out, right? So I think that the unions, as leaders of workers in Barbados, particularly working class people who look up to our leaders for leadership.
Before you go any further, you said the unions as leaders of workers, but of recent, the unions have become the users of workers.
All right, we
Fair
get
enough.
For their own personal political gain.
We will get there. Wait till you finish. Go ahead, Gamer.
So as the union leadership leads working class people, and you're having issues with the executive, particularly under a time like now, where the workers are having severe issues, and you can see a lack of representation, particularly, I mean, like the hotel workers right now are complaining severely about a lack of representation. And I found that the unions have completely gone to bed with the government in some instances and are not representing the workers as it should be. And to add to Jermaine's point, I find that union workers are aligning themselves to get either political jobs or jobs in the private sector after they have moved on, and I do not think that that is the appropriate route to take given the circumstances of the country right now.
I want to say something important because you made, as a DLP person, you made the point that the union climate in Barbados is one where the union leaders are aligning themselves with the current government of Barbados to curry political favor. Now, Kimar, whilst I understand where you're coming from, I want you also to recognize that when the Democratic Labour Party was in power, that the Democratic Labour Party and the then leaders of the union could also be accused of being more in bed with one another than anything else. So union leaders have, in some respect, and I will say this openly, I might get cussed for this, but I don't really care. Union leaders over extensive periods of times have made themselves into political prostitutes for sale at the highest bidder.
Was it that the politics of Barbados, the political parties in Barbados, were the unions formed from those parties?
The unions were formed from those parties, but with the expressed intent to represent, one, the interests of the workers and to seek better for.
Hi, Ms. Bond.
If you understand the history.
Yeah, but you will always still have the influence of the political party because
it's
well known.
I don't dispute that.
Well, the BLP had
the
BWU
from union membership, but what I'm saying is the unions and the union leaders back then, yes, they were intertwined in both unionism and politics, but because of the circumstances which presented themselves for our people at that given time, they had to fight for rights far beyond workers' rights. because you have to recognize that, at that time, when unions were first formed in Barbados, and when our two main political parties would have emerged, Barbadians were living in a more or less a quasi-slavery environment, right? So if you know your history, wages were extremely low. Most of our foreparents could tell you, well, I'm not born in Barbados, so I don't have foreparents in Barbados. However, you speak to the older folks in Barbados, 8 out of 10, and I'm speaking about persons over the age of 60 or over, 8 out of 10 can readily attest and tell you that they worked on a plantation, right, or were part of that system.
So we understand the history of why the old political I have a question. Mr. Kimar, not Safri, don't talk as though this practice no start. DLP was in bed with the union too, and I have proof. As a matter of fact, I am an example of what happened when this dynamic occurred.
Well, Mr. Dave will share the experience.
Share it with us. But my thing,
maybe Dave, you could give us a call.
Give us a call. Call in the show and share your experience.
Give me a number again.
846-9912.
846
only.
99 what? 99 what? 12. Call. So, right? I like I had on my cap block. Sorry, 84. Give me a number again.
846-9912.
Right. So so we've seen and understand that the unions have really lost a lot of their way, and we've seen politics play out of unions. But when people are looking for representation, my thing is that I hate to see when this becomes too public, where we have, especially at a time like this, where unions should be more focusing on the problems or the issues that are at bay with people. Mm-hmm. It's now that they have an internal matter that now have to be, in my opinion, which I subject to correct, I see it could be putting a pause on defending or representing people, because there's a legal embattlement between the hierarchy, as you will call it, or so time could be spent dealing with that rather than dealing with people, where the people want representation now, especially with what is going on with COVID and what is going on with the amount of layoffs and stuff like that. But as it pertains to the NUPW, I found it funny that, well, Ms. Burt said, okay, I'm retiring. At the end of this year, that position that was then Ms. Smith came back in instantly and just took up office. Shocking to everybody.
What is interesting about this whole thing too, and I'm surprised that you don't jump on it already, because you are usually the first person to jump on this. You and you. Mm-hmm. I remember Rollins Smith is like 67 years old.
I think both of them is almost of that age.
Right. Oh God, no, that's so money. But all right, look. Let's be real and let's be fair here. She's 67 years old. I understand that we must have the contribution of our elders in this society. But Rosalind Smith could go home, bro. Let me get real. She's 67 years old. She has come to the age where she can collect her severance, she can get her pension, and ride off in the sunset and relax and don't take. And you know, I'll be fair with this too. In my personal view, she never really did a good job of representing the workers previously. So no, she never did a good job.
But just be careful, Jeremy, because you mentioned about age, and because of her age, she can go. We had Trevor Prescott here recently, saying that although he is in his 70s, he's still willing and able and strong to do what he has to do. So
Trevor Prescott also said on the news in a branch meeting that his job was not a buy off too.
I say somebody brought this thing about ageism. I am definitely not against person's age. What I'm against is the paper report here that Ms. Rosalind Smith has served in the capacity in the union actually for more than 47 years. And I often say that when you have served, you serve and go home. Yes. I am of the view that to me, in some instances, it's like if you have this belief that they're not young, innovative minds out there other than yours, or I'm of the view that I'm of the view that you think that there's no other people that can run it like you. Yes, you could never run an organization like somebody else, because your way is your way, my way is my way. But I'm of the view that when your time have served, you move with a distinction. Sometimes you know they have a saying that you says that your good don't let your good be evilly spoken of.
Yeah.
So it's that time where yes you come out on a good stand where you serve well, but you come back in and you skin up one table and you end up the whole good be able spoken evil of. You just ruin your own career.
The one thing I will say about Roslyn Smith, and I will be fair on this, she is one of the only union leaders whom I can say without a doubt never expressed, or not, she didn't express an interest in running for elective politics, and number two, no one can reasonably say that she was using the union as an avenue to curry favor with one political party.
Well, you can't say so. You can't.
Maybe because that she know that she doesn't have a face to be in politics.
No,
argument. That's
okay. If we look at the contribution of
though.
other trade unions, so we look at Bobby Morris. I think Bobby Morris, other trade unions, gave a significant contribution to politics. So I don't want to necessarily say that because you were involved in trade unionism that you should not have an opportunity to be involved in politics. However, it comes down to an issue where you would throw the workers that you represent under the bus for such an opportunity. And I can use a more recent example. I mean, and this had nothing to do with party affiliations or anything, but I can recall there were salary negotiations going on with the workers and then the LP government for a raise.
Salary raise,
right?
yes.
I can't remember the exact number. However, the unions refused that number, and then when this government came into power, they accepted a number that was substantially lower. And for me, that is.
But was the DLP willing to give anything to the unions?
Yes, the DLP said that they were willing to
give how much? They never said they were willing to give anything.
Hold
on, let me finish.
So my thing is.
No, the question was what the DLP gave.
What the DLP offered? I want to see what the DLP offered.
What they were willing to offer?
I think okay.
Nothing.
Well, later.
I said I can't.
Let's be fair.
No,
Let's be fair. At that given time, Kimura wasn't a party, Democratically a party. Therefore, he isn't succumb to that information.
So you gotta be.
So give him a break.
Let me tell you what the damn spot on the table, right? On the dawn, or should I say, on the eve of the extension of our
election.
No, sorry. I don't call that election.
Oh, sorry. The governance
right. on the eve of the extension of our subjection to.
You could get to the point.
No, I gotta use these words.
I use the word madman. A madman prime minister.
I use these words on the eve of the subjection of the Barbadian public to further torture. That's what you call it. 3 long months.
We get the point.
Right?
Give me the question.
Randall Stewart made an offer to the unions, if I remember correctly. You weren't in the.
That is like a sin.
Hold on. You weren't in the But Randall Stewart made an offer to the workers, which I believe was a one-time offer, where I think the government would spend something like about $60 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Which was the same amount you spent on salary anyway.
And that would just be a one-time offer. It wasn't a wage increase. It wasn't to be for the next month. For me, I think Frandel in his mind knew, or should I say the then Prime Minister, because I'll give him his respect as Prime Minister.
You should.
Right? He figured in himself that, you know what, these people gonna vote against me. So let me try to throw them scratch green. Alright? And hopefully if I throw them scratch green, they're gonna be enough that I can swing back. That will give you
I don't think it's that. I want you to talk.
Let me get the point. Let me get
so that we could continue the conversation. So the point what was the offer?
Let me finish.
Come, Jeremy, you cut the man. So hurry up.
So tell me what was the offer.
Let me finish. Miss Motley came into government, and within 4 weeks, she met with the unions. Right? Now, one could argue that the negotiations weren't long enough. One could argue that they were short. One could argue that the figure seemed predetermined.
Some people argue that it was political.
Right. There are also arguments. But what you cannot argue is that she put a firm offer on the table. And she said, look, I will offer you a 5% wage increase. And she also advised the unions at the time. It's 5%.
Oh.
Right. So she advised the unions at the time about the circumstances.
Well, we in Dread is here saying that the union would have demanded a 25% non-negotiation with the Dems. So
I remember as a quarterback, we started at 25.
And the reason for that because they were cushioning for the very, very hard times that the Dems has.
And the years of the years that they didn't get increased.
Right, after being in hell, you know.
But hold on.
What you gonna do? Come out?
To be fair,
just 5%.
All right, come Jeremy, you cut Kimar.
The Barbados Labour Party put the economic circumstances on the table. Remember, right after that, they had the work program which was started. We went to the IMF. So the unions knew, look, this is the predicament. Is either you take this 5% no, or when we go to the IMF, they ain't give me nothing for nobody, and you want to get another 10 years before wage increase again.
And not only that, though,
right?
I think it was one to where the Barbados Labour Party would have been able to speak to the union and not speak at the union.
Exactly.
So where negotiation took place was valid because you could have said, okay, well, this is the Barbados position. There really finances is we under 6 weeks of import. We don't have the money, but here's what we can cushion you guys by some sort of thing. So that I can answer. Keep on going.
Right.
Before cutting the mad Jeremy.
I'm not cutting.
What we were saying originally though is that I based on what was on offer before, and as Andrea said, it was non-negotiable, right? I am not backing up for the then government, nor neither am I chastising the union, right? Because they have their attorneys and whoever negotiate for them, and they put what they wanted on the table. The government said no, whatever. But my thing is, how could you negotiate an arrangement like that? And then when a new government comes into place, then you sell it for 5%.
But it was a negotiation because they reject. Listen, when the unions march or when the unions went to the government, a lot of things were out of stand and given and moving and budget. So you can't say it's a negotiation because two parties have not agreed upon any term or willing. Even one party isn't willing to discuss. And I think that is where the whole thing fell down. The administration went into discuss.
A good example, Kimar. If I was selling my truck, right, and my daughter told me, Daddy, I can give you $40,000 for the truck. Front door tell me he want to buy my truck. He got to pay $150,000. I'm not accepting the same thing from he. So when the damage was in, there was accepting 25%, that's it. When the dams were out and the bees come in, we accept.
But remember, let me not be unfair to say that's what the unions did, because remember the Barbados Labour Party explained the financial turmoil. The Dems were claiming to have money through different investments that they didn't even give the people.
What we also need to remember this is that whilst the union started at 25%, which some people would say is unreasonable, who goes into a negotiation starting at bottom?
Yeah, you start.
Right. So the union started at 25%.
But that's not what they know they would get.
I thought the government.
Somebody say making some weird statement based on opinion based on facts.
The government started at 0, and the government refused to move from 0.
Well, Gerald, I don't think that we're looking at the negotiation. I think we just give an opinion on how so much so the processes of the facts that was there in the paper that stated where the government stood at their negotiation and where the union took up and led from. So it's not that's not what we're looking at.
Jeremy?
Right, Jeremy, right. And so, I don't know who's Kimar.
But my thing is no, right? We give you 5% increase. Then the government went to the IMF in the same work program that Jeremy spoke about and negotiated with the IMF to cut the wage bill of the government, right? A large cross section of workers within the public sector are within these unions. So why give the unions the 5% increase? Then there were massive increases in taxes. Then you still negotiated with the IMF.
But
you negotiated with the IMF now to cut the wage bill, and then now you brought the BOSS program, which is another cut. Regardless of how you look
but that's an optional scheme. But here's what.
Okay.
People would accept 0% increase once there is transparency, clear communication. However, I am a strong believer of separation between the union and the government. The government is an employer in this content and should not be complicit with the workers' thing. Richard, you agree with that?
Right. And his point too would be that the unions are a part of the social partnership, which means that they are privy to all information that, well, some information that the government has, which would include the private sector and the Barbados Bankers Association. So they knew they have substantial information to make or negotiate from. So
right. Let me finish.
I just make a comment here.
I saw the comment.
The reason
have to read out everything.
Because I was surprised that when you were speaking, Kimar, that you didn't. The first name that you didn't mention was Edward Evening Graves, right? Because you spoke about Bobby Morris.
Yes.
But the contribution of Evening Graves in the union movement in Barbados is even greater than Bobby Morris. You know that?
Yeah,
yes.
but we want to look at the fact that I agree with Junior, because here's what. Keep the comments coming, guys. We really like it. The fact that people would definitely upset 0% because it was clear communication and transparency, and I think that was what was missing. That was what was missing from the Democratic Labour Party administration, that they were not clear. They were not clear-cut conversation. Every time you look around, it was papers being delivered. It was either marches. It was the party, the government at the time being disrespectful to unions. And when
especially Minister of Finance.
And so when you were disrespectful to the people, you left the people no choice, and then people would speculate because there was no clear communication. There was no clear cut to say what was happening. So people could say, "Listen, let me speculate." Perception greater than reality in some cases, and the people decided to think what they want to think. When an administration comes in and sit with the people, and I think that as Anthony is saying here, that remember too, it was the people that were also the union members that were also had to be acceptance of this 5%. It wasn't just the executive, but the people who were so happy to get something for after 10 years of not even getting a wage increase. And not only that, the cushion of it to where you said that the Barbados Labour Party started to add on tax. Imagine if the Barbados Labour Party had add on taxes on an already low salaries that are already affected. The fact that the person got the 5%, as I said, it cushioned them in a way that even though the government gave the taxes, they were also protected in some way. I'm not going to say they were protected in every way, but I felt good to know that they had 5%, that even if they had to come back down after taxes, they would still be at the normal pay range that they were getting and not 5% under. So that is also something that we have to look at, and that is also very important to know that something was given even though I think. And the BOSS program again is an optional saving scheme and not a mandatory, unless somebody come and tell me, show me facts that it is mandatory. It is optional.
Well, thank you, Conrad Bobby Morris, for tuning in. I spoke about you much earlier on the show, and yes, Gerard, we did mention about Bobby Morris and his contribution to trade unionism in Barbados, right, and to politics. And to, just to cement the point, we are not against persons of the union contributing to politics. However, what we are saying
you can't get in bed with it.
Right, you cannot wrap yourself right up into the government that you would dance to their whims at the expense of the workers. So in a situation where you as a union leader would put your personal ambitions to take a seat in government over negotiating a deal or a common sense deal based on fact and research that would give the workers the best representation, you would put all of that aside to give the government the benefit of the doubt. That's where the problem is coming in for us.
And I think there's also where we see, well, I think where we saw a lot of the union numbers dropping. And over the years, I remember being on a show with a set of union leaders, and they were talking about numbers. Some people were saying they were at 12,000. Some people said they brought in an extra 1,000 while they were leaders and stuff like that. But by the time you bring in 1,000 and then you're dropping by another 1,000, it shows then, we can't always say it's the economic downturn. It shows that people have lost their belief and their satisfaction as it relates to the unions. People have really lost sight of it, of the true representation, because in 1 minute you're hearing our union leaders are supposedly this and supposedly that, or in tune with this person or in tune with that person, and then that becomes a challenge for people. Am I being represented fairly? Am I being represented? And I think that we have to understand, well, unions, there's some level of what?
Right, Gerard, you need to call the number on WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp number.
Yeah, WhatsApp only.
So you call it on WhatsApp.
And while we understand that the unions and politics have always married, I think that what people like Saroy and the Bobby Morris and the Evelyn Grace have always managed to do was to let people see through a separation line of politics. So if I'm representing a body of people, I'm representing them. Rather not, I have to go and drink with Peter Paul and all. That is important. At the end of the day, we could have said that they represented the people, and that is the important thing. That you are a leader. I like the way how Tony Moore is batting.
You do?
Yeah, I like the way how Tony Moore is batting, because at the end of the day, and you could go back to any article, Tony Moore article as a BW head has been showing that she's 40 people from the Senate's back down. You can see it that she's representing the people. I have seen that.
I may not usually agree with Kimar Stewart on anything, but we might agree this evening. But I want to say this to you. Let me say something to you, right? You spoke just now. This whole discussion has been centered around the unions and government, right? But you know that the unions do an even worse job of representing private sector workers, and they have.
That's your opinion?
No.
That's your opinion.
Very public cases where you remember the Royal Shop incident?
The who?
Royal Shop.
Royal Shop.
Remember the the Royal Shop.
Royal Shop.
Royal Shop.
Yes, sir.
The Sandalane incident.
Yeah.
Right. So those are but two examples where the unions in Barbados dropped the ball.
I particularly know with this hotel issue with the hotel.
Even the hotels.
But doesn't mean that we can't sit and say that they still ain't represented. I agree that some have lost it, but she has been represented well.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this very openly, right? It is very easy for some of these union leaders to sit down in their in their nice cushy jobs and bring out the fancy cars, right? And not recognize. Oh, that's what you call.
What do you call? Go ahead. You want speaker?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, good evening.
Yes. You're on the air, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Gerard.
It's fine.
I am the person that made the comment that you all guys are making some outrageous statements. I just heard my friend Kimar speak to the Royal Shop on the Sandy Lane issue.
That's not Kimar, that's Jermaine.
Jermaine. My friend Jermaine. I know what I mean, Jermaine. He knows the name well. I don't think that Jermaine has ever read the true facts of both of those issues and realized what really went on. And therefore, the perception is that the unions would have messed up, but it's not so. And I can share this with you, this much. The Royal Shop issue, when the union was going to take severe action, unions were given a directive or ultimatum by the Prime Minister David Thompson, and it was this, one of the Royal Shop made this comment: either we can stay in Barbados and provide work for Barbadians, or we can take our business to Trinidad and put Barbadians out to work. As a union leader who's looking out for workers, what do you do when your back is against the wall? Do you let people close down, as have been happening, and taking the business to another country, or do you let them stay and negotiate? So I'm saying you are making these outrageous statements because a lot of the facts did not come to the public.
Gerard, before you
were not,
right?
Yes, sir.
Gerard.
Go ahead. Yes.
The then Prime Minister of Barbados, his constituency would be the whole of Barbados. Alright? So he can decide whatever he wants. The union's constituency are those people who loyally pay $26 per month for representation. That is their only, and let me put it again, that is their only constituent. And the only persons that they're to worry about are those persons. So if they decide, because a Prime Minister tell them this, to do that, then they drop the ball. And I will say that openly.
Jeremy, hold on, because you're missing what I'm telling you.
No, I'm not.
Hold on.
As a union person, I don't me, but as also a union, a shop steward, you cannot always pick up a case for a representative who is dead wrong because they're paying you $26. Sometimes you have to deal with these matters behind closed doors. You have instances, and I talk as somebody who studied labor and employment relations. You have instances of employees who do the most nonsense.
Yeah.
And expect representation for $26. And when you don't represent them or you tell them that they're wrong, you hear what I'm hearing from you that the unions drop the ball. Sometimes you have to let them know they do nonsense. Well, and I'm telling you, in those instances, it was nonsense done by the worker and not the union.
Hold on.
Yes,
right.
Please.
Right. We understand that. I share some agreements in terms of the fact that, as an employer, some persons will feel that they have the $25 and or $26 paid and it is full representation across spectrum. But I think that people go into these things knowing that they pay the union what they ask the union, and they expect representation at any and all level. I think that is what people's expectation is.
Well, it's interesting you just.
But they've got representation, Kimar. They've got representation. The outcome may not be one that you are satisfied with, or the outcome may not be one that you are aware of. Let me go back to the Sandy Lane issue.
Okay.
Right, when I said goodbye, I ain't gonna discuss it. I will go talk to you and Jeremy privately.
Okay.
In Sandy Lane, has Sandy Lane labor policies changed over the years?
I don't know.
If you are familiar with Sandy Lane,
I am. Look, I worked there within the last 2 years.
Have their policies changed over the years?
In terms of what?
In terms of how they treat workers, in terms of how they respond to trade unions.
There has not been a great innovation in terms of change.
Okay, so let me say this to you because I know we're telling you. There are employers, and somebody touched on the private sector, there are employers who believe that once they have the money to pay the fine, they don't have to listen to any union.
Fair enough. So
you can do whatever you like. They go before the tribunal, and if the fine is $25,000, they write a check for $25,001 because they don't have to follow it. No, this is real.
But
so you will butt your head against the rock. You will argue. You will fight. Let me tell you, I've listened to workers who complain about the treatment meted out to them. You hear Tony Moore talking regular, and I start to tell them you got to do what is called name and shame, because a lot of things happen in this country to workers, right? That sometimes we blame the unions for, but you know what's happened? Workers believe that they're going to get terminated. They're afraid to speak up, and they allow nonsense to happen to them because they don't have the heart to fight. Some don't have the heart or the courage to join the union. And then when you hear something happening someplace, you say, but the union ain't defending them. But sometimes the news is coming to you the same time as it's coming to the union.
But Gerard, is the union coming out? I agree with you on that name of shame, because again, we are looking at the perception, which I always say is greater than the reality. If people are paying for representation, no matter if this is $1 for they are looking for representation. And if the representation is not there, or the information is not relayed properly, or the public is receiving the information in one instance, then you're going to leave room for speculation. You're going to leave room for how people see and view things. I think that I agree with you where the union need to name and shame and need to bring these things to light, because all the time we are hearing discussion. Because here's the thing, on the Royal Shop and on the Sandy Lane, we never heard in the public about any settlement or what was done. And if you're not an insider, you bring it, meaning you brought it to the public, and then the same public is left to see where the union is doing it for these people, and that is where the speculation is. Let me hear Gerard first, and then get your question and thing. Go ahead, Gerard. I don't know if you want to respond.
I can leave you with two things. You sticking on Royal Shop and Sandy Lane. I can add Diamonds International. Let you and Jermaine do the history and research. You remember the comment about the Jew? You do your research, or you see me privately. But also this is something that you can discuss, because you have not touched on it yet.
Tell me.
I would agree with you if you say that trade unions need to up their public relations. because a lot of stuff goes on that we are not aware.
Right.
And sometimes they get labeled wrongfully because the PR is not there telling the public the good things that they do. And then therefore when they want the support, people don't want to support them because they don't know. But it's not that they're not doing good, it's that the PR is not at the level that it should be. I can leave you all with that.
Thank you very much. You can reply on the show. Thank you for that, Gerard. Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate that question. Go ahead, Jermaine. We are respond quickly.
I wanna first make a response to Gerard. And then I want to ask a question I see Ryan Walters has actually asked here. Now, Gerard, I'm going to say it. Gerard, I want to say to you this. I have known you have just put a very glowing representation of the unions and the constraints that union leaders face and all that. But I want to also put to you, I'm not going to call the name of the union. I'm not going to call the name of the institution. I'm not going to call the name of the person. But no, hold on, let me speak.
Too long.
Right? Let me speak.
I
want to say to you that there has been an instance in Barbados where a union leader went behind, your workers were out there protesting. A union leader went behind closed doors with management of an institution. I will not say financial or otherwise. And when that union leader came out, the workers were probably asking for 10%, and the union leader, the institution was willing to pay one figure, and when the union leader came out, the union leader negotiated for a lower figure. You have to ask what was behind that.
So but there may be a reason.
Okay, there
may be a reason.
In that regard, though,
you pay them to negotiate on your behalf.
Okay, in that regard, this is 2020, right? So I believe that the unions need to innovate their legislation to bring it into the 21st century. So given that, I will ask the question, no, should union leaders be included in the integrity legislation?
All right, before we answer that question that you just asked ties into two comments that two persons made.
All right, hold on.
Number one, Ryan Walters said the bigger discussion is how can we ensure that persons don't exploit the union for individual political gain in the future. What are the solutions? That is number one. Number two, Kerry Jordan said, why do we believe after drawing from the same intellectual and academic pool, the union or government or persons need to take sides? We are too small. Let's look at how do we utilize the best minds. What happens at the table, leave it at the table.
Well, there's another comment here from Wayne. I pose a question, when have anyone in labor relation march with the employers? The union is supposed to represent workers, not march with employers.
You know what he's talking about.
So I know he's talking about the last administration. But to go to Ryan Walters, I understand the question as it relates to looking at the solution. This call for people that have the knowledge of the whole union to look at solutions going forward and take, as Kimar said, add a young innovativeness to it and bring some solution in or bring it into the 21st century. I do believe that it is somewhat detrimental to have union leaders in politics as it relates to not being able to separate the two. Because when people are looking for representation but are seeing you at the drinking table with a party, that is where people have a fundamental problem, because people say, well, you're supposed to represent me. So we have to look at the fact that we have, well, I'm not against union reps becoming political or going into political future.
I am.
I'm against it becoming too obvious in the sense that you're damaging your credibility of your union and the people that you're supposed to represent.
And on top of that, there are constant rumors about that a particular union leader is canvassing in a constituency as we speak to run in this current administration. Well, there are severe issues going on with the workers.
You got rumors about on the other side too?
Good. So my
I got rumors on the other side.
That you didn't your opponent in that election.
Well, no, they're just a rumor part. But I'm just saying that I have a fundamental, because here's what. I agree where if you're in public life, that there's supposed to be some sort of accountability to people.
Yeah.
If a union leader at this particular point has a desire to become a politician in the next upcoming election, that person should step down as head of that political party and
head
of that union, and go focus on the political future. Because here's what, those positions in some cases are elective, so you can always probably come back if it ain't work out. But I don't believe that you as a union leader at this point, representing people with the current government, because the union always faces the current government,
carry people to do the field,
right? Should be striving to be a elected member of parliament while still looking to run. And I think the conflict of interest goes the same way they say that a public servant can't go run in politics while being a public servant.
Actually, you can run in politics.
Well,
you can run for elective politics when you actually become a member of parliament. Then
well, I think you had to quit, because I think Charles and the others had to quit. But what I'm just saying,
after they won,
they quit before. But what I'm just saying, Charles and those that were
Charles Green,
youth commissioners and stuff like that. But I think you're supposed to, regardless though. But I'm just saying, when we represent a body, and we have to be careful that that body, we are not damaging that body. Because here's what, as a union leader, you leave that party and go into politics.
You leave that union.
I just accustomed to party. Sorry, you leave that union.
And got into politics.
You leave that union and go into politics, but you leave the union with a damaging reputation, because people can say, well, that leader was in bed with that particular party, and that is why they responded this way, that is why they said this or that. So we have to be really careful how we mushroom. I have no problem if we have bright-minded young people that are a part of a union or union heads that want to be in elective politics. That's funny by me, because everyone has a right to serve at any level they think they're competent at serving. But do not cross or intertwine the two to do it. That is my opinion on that particular case. But just to jump back, back on what we were saying about the representation, I do believe that Tony have given a good representation, even if it's just verbal. But I think she's been representing the people good in terms of the Senate. She have been representing the people good in terms of the whole dealing, how she deals with things. And I've seen that I could only go based on what the news carries.
You sound very
pro-B.
I'm sorry.
Pro-B?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I mean pro-B or pro-B? She's a B?
I never said that.
So you mean pro-B?
Listen.
So
I have a different opinion as to the role of the Barbados Workers Union right now, and the General Secretary of that union, and her representation of the workers at this given time. But that is just my opinion, and I'll keep my opinion to myself.
Well, that's the first. Go ahead, Kimar.
So if it's a case where
if
it's a case where the same Tony Moore is elected in the alleged by-election that is supposed to happen in St. George North next year in April, as she's the candidate.
Next year, April?
As she's the candidate already? As she's the candidate.
News.
If she is the candidate, as she is the candidate in St. George North next time, what does that say for her credibility?
So what about if Pedro Shepherd becomes the duly elected nominee for a particular constituency in the next election? What do people say with that?
Well, answer my question first.
I can't answer because I don't know. I don't know.
If it is that Mr. Shepherd,
I hear about union leader who was bargaining the union's reputation for ambassadorship.
I just saying the hearsay is, but I'm just saying if Mr. Shepherd, I'm just using your analogy just because you use it.
But there's a difference. What's
the difference?
We have
union leaders.
We have a situation where a government right now at the table who controls the country, right? You have the union leader bargaining for his or her spot at the table. In Mr. Shepherd's case,
hold on.
In Mr. Shepherd's case, I didn't say that nobody doing it. I just making a situation.
Generalize.
Yes. In the case of Mr. Shepherd, the DLP will not be in government, therefore not at the table nor in opposition. So it's just this. I don't know.
That's the question.
But it's his choice to align himself with a pack of losers.
Man, come on. Let me not go there.
Yeah, but
that's what your information
the money.
But here's what.
Next election, I believe, and I'll be fair. Next election, I believe that the Dems will probably get some seats because there are people in Barbados who are sympathetic I believe that there should be
under the leadership of
hold on.
Vernon Pizza or George Pilgrim.
But you know, it's interesting because George Pilgrim actually said in the newspaper when I read it that he wants to be the president of the Democratic Labour Party, so that they can now go about picking a political leader. So he never said that he's going to lead the party into elections.
He can also pick himself.
I don't know. I don't. But I'm just saying.
I got to see how.
Yeah, I just said I don't. If you're saying that there is a political agenda by a particular union head, I'm asking if that particular leader you stated is that union leader because you said that leader would be because there's not a party in power or a party out of power. I have a problem. Yes, I agree with Gerard. Stick to the facts, not the individuals. I agree.
Yeah, this part of this show.
Hold on. I agree that. I disagree. Why I disagree is because rather it is with who in power or who out of power. Political parties have influence on people. So if it is let's say if it is Pedro Shepherd, let's say, and he's allegedly looking to run for the D's in the upcoming election, the way he attacks or the way he approaches the Barbados Labour Party government would not, in my opinion, Kimar Safri's opinion, be in the best interest of the members. It may be in the best interest of him and his political party or his political gains. The said way, if you're saying that who name you call? You call the name?
I didn't call it just
right. If let's say a union leader goes into political arena with this current government, it may be that their response again would not be in the interest so much of the constituents, which is the members of the party, but maybe in the interest of themselves or the political party.
It's interesting that you are speaking.
So I'm just saying it isn't fair.
You're speaking about a union leader's representation of workers and how it can be perceived and whose interest. I want you to give me your opinion and your opinion as well, and yours as well. But I know where your opinion can be, so I will discount yours.
Make sure it clean the money.
Right? No, I discount yours, the money. I want here Kimar Stewart and Kimar Safri.
Kimar Safri.
Right, Kimar Safri, the supposed independent, and Kimar Stewart, the LP member. Right?
Jermaine, the outlaw BD.
As an objective B. So I can say what I want. I want to hear your opinion as to the stewardship thus far of Kenny McDowell as the president of the Barbados and the National Union of Public Workers. You want to start first, Kimar?
I'll give you a full comment.
Oh, yeah.
I never want to shy away from a comment. I think that the stewardship has been ticklish because it came from a previous administration to this. I've not heard Kenny McDowell as vocal in the no government as he was in the last administration, but I would also go as far as that he say that he needed to be as vocal as possible in the last administration because they were not forthcoming and they were not open to the negotiation. I personally believe that he did a good stewardship. He was a young man. He had ideas. He was innovative. He ran some good he spoke on some good points, and I believe he really did good. Now, there's a flip side. There's also pros and cons to everything. There's some things I believe that he could have done in this way or that way, but I think he did a good job. One of the things, though, I heard Gerard spoke about it earlier, is that I believe that some were saying that he was out of place between the positions. I believe he brought a lot of publicity to the NUPW, and that was good because it kept the NUPW to knowing and where, yes, he was probably supposed to be chairing meetings in the background, as some said, but at the end, as Casual said too, and he's not general secretary. But at the end of the day, I thought he held together his own. He had a good team at first that I knew about with Asakori and those guys. But I thought as a young man, he brought a good, strong campaign. He represented, but I go as far as saying there could have been other things that could have been done as well.
Okay, but I want to make a comment.
You don't want to make a comment on that?
Not necessarily on him, but I was focusing on the leadership challenge on which she went through, which would have had in his vice president, I think, which would have been guys.
I didn't know the vice president, honestly.
I be Fabian.
Barton.
No, the guy with the
Fabian Barton, the CEO.
The guy with the locks.
I don't know him.
That wanted to run
again.
And it's very interesting because
hold on, let Kimar finish.
Then there was Beryl Scott and you raised, I think, one more person. And if you look at the analysis of the votes, you would see that the total amount of votes that the opponents got completely outweighed the amount of percentage that Akani got. So that in itself is telling to how the union members felt towards the leadership. Now I do not know personally, and so I cannot speak to his storyship, but just speaking to the facts. Right. So just speaking to the facts and the figures. So my thing is, under another leadership challenge with a strong candidate, will he survive another
round? He did survive. He survived too. So I think I survived no confidence motions too. I think, as I said, I don't think Akani stewarded bad. And I would love to see the young people coming forward. I don't think he stewarded bad. I think there is things that in there that I'm just speculating, probably wanted to change and had a lot of opposition because he was a young candidate. He had a young executive. And he spoke, I think he spoke to it several times in the media. But at the end of the day, I don't think he did bad. But overall, I keep saying, I do think overall, that unions have lost their way in a lot of perspective. And I don't mean lost their way on particularly one topic. I'm talking about multiple topics. And I would obviously like to see the unions get back on track for the people's business more vigorously and represent the people in the way that they should, and not have any political interference or any political doing. And I'm not saying don't be friends with politicians. I'm not saying don't have political aspirations. But where do we represent the people? And that is key. How is the people represented? That is key. And I think I must agree with Gerard again. The public relations of these unions must be brought out a lot more. I'm somebody told me a time that one of the particular unions have a PR, a public relations person. I'm like, so, but that public relations person doesn't say anything. In my opinion, they don't know who it is.
So let's address the fact that I would say there has been allegations coming up from politicians that the unions stood in the way of bringing great innovations towards Barbados, particularly in the public.
You're talking underneath the Dems?
Well, not necessarily on the Dems, but in general. It's just looking at how where like the unions may not have understood particular programs and what's not, they will stand in the way of the government rolling out the program.
Right? I don't think it was stand. While we
were on the show, persons said in the comments that the unions helped to block a lot of innovation going forward. So my thing is, how can we use the social partnership where the unions are a part of to bring some type of understanding so that Barbados can move forward?
You actually believe in social partnership?
The social partnership is very innovative, honestly. I think bringing all of the particular heads, bringing all the particular heads to the table is very important. We need unity and cohesion in decision making, power sharing. I don't think decisions should be made in silos.
I don't think the challenge on the social partnership is that you don't have involved charitable organization representative bodies, and I think that is one thing is missing. So and then the religious body as well. I think that one or two of those should be added because you're talking about social partnership, not union partnership.
You know that persons are always quick to criticize the church for not playing their role in society.
Well, they quick to criticize certain things.
Involve the church, you don't want to involve them.
Right. So I think that other bodies
has represented in the Senate, though.
Yeah. Well, that's a different. That's debatable because to say that the church have representation in a Senate is still challenging because that particular denomination which a person belongs to does not represent the non-denominational body.
I was saying the same thing. Regarding a church, you have different denominations. You got the Christians, you got the Muslims, you got the Hindus. Which religion will be represented?
This is a Christian society.
Yeah, so
Christian society with a diverse.
Still go back. Who you can put? Catholics. You can put Nazarenes. You can put the Roman Catholic. You can put Roman Catholic. You can put Anglicans.
But a Catholic can never represent the. I can never represent the Saturdays.
You can put one. You can put each person from each denomination?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily. Okay, this is the thing, right? I mean,
Because
I don't
not
want.
everybody can show the not denomination.
Okay. This is my thing, right? And this is just my.
Church probably got union.
This is not my. And this is my observation.
Well, no, there's actually a council.
Right? Within
union.
Particular denomination.
Yeah, but all are on it. Most of them are.
Right, guys. So within my observation of
Keep the comments coming, people.
Islamic countries and countries run by I would say Muslims, and this could just be my speculation, but I do not see in, for instance, Iran, Christians being called to the table to participate in decision making
for Muslims
in a Muslim country,
or Islam,
right?
But they are in parliament.
Because it predominantly is the country, Jeremy.
Right. So my thing is, right, and I am not against inclusion for anybody, but I am saying, what I am saying is, in those countries, it does not happen on a grand scale.
So
right?
it should happen here?
That's not what I am saying. I'm just
He's just making a point, which I understand, and that's why I say that I would like to see more inclusion as it relates to representative for NGOs, representative for the religious body. You may have to come together and choose one person, because every denomination can serve.
You just open a can of worms here, because when you speak about more representation in the Senate, right? So number one, I have two queries for you, for you guys here.
Oh, good Lord!
All right. Number one, do you believe that the Senate, the upper house, should be elected rather than selected? And then number two, do you believe the time has come to expand the numbers in the upper house?
Well, first things first, I think the pay of senators is a little bit
Too low?
if you want to say low.
What you want to say low? You want to say too high?
No, it's not high, because it's really not a overly paid.
Well, I think you might be. I think you might be comparing carry because some Bayesian may be saying to do what?
Well, hold on. But to be fair though,
I don't be busy.
Politics is about service and not about a career. So if you going into politics looking for money,
that's not.
And looking for a career, you're getting into the wrong field.
But that's not what I'm saying.
But it's alleged that a lot of the past ministers went into politics for money.
All right, but hold on. But what would look at though before we wanted to get on one high horse is I would not even worry about a pay so much. What I think we need to do is start to look at the relevance of the Senate, and to see, because a lot of people don't understand the importance of the Senate as well. In terms of, we last saw the integrity legislation and stuff like that. People don't understand the importance, and I think that when people understand the importance of Senate, and I think that's where we fall down. These letting people know what thing. And we also fall down because we don't take time to know it ourselves. But once people understand the importance of Senate, then we can challenge whether or not it pays our thing. I don't think I know where we are in COVID. Anybody care to raise a senator salary far more to raise a minister's salary?
Right. That's not angle. The thing is, I was looking at, if you're looking at reform in the Senate, if you put in elected members, fine, but still you have to look at it in totality. So you still have to look at a compensation package for the job that will be done now. Because as an elected person in the Senate, you're still gonna have certain expenses to cover. You still have to live.
Yeah, but you want consistency to run.
But so how you can get in?
I mean, you don't have a consistency like an MP.
But how you can get in?
Why would like every looking at it is, I would like to see things reformed, such as where the Speaker of the House is elected, where the Speaker of the President of the Senate is elected. I don't really care about the members per se in the Senate being elected. No, listen now. Don't screw my word. Hold on. Jermaine, let me finish now. Jermaine, hold on. I don't want you to misunderstand. I don't want you to misunderstand me. I am not saying, when I said I don't care about that, meaning I don't care if the Senate has a race, as ISIS is saying. What I'm saying is, those persons that lead in the Senate and in the House, let's say the Deputy Speaker, the Speaker, the Deputy President, and the President, I believe those should be elected position, and it should be even open to the general public.
The public will.
Yeah, the public will elect that person. So that, just remember though, I think in Guyana, if I stand under any correction, that the Speaker of the House is elected among those that are in Parliament of everybody, both parties. If your party has the most in Parliament, obviously you get we just had the first indigenous Speaker of the House in Ghana. But remember, I could put forward somebody, you could put forward something, but once the House vote, if you got the majority, you would always win. But I think the public on the ballot sheets, just as well as all ministers, should be given the position for Senate.
I didn't want to say this, right? If we are talking...
Correct, Dre. The current Senate is controlled by the government, which should not be.
If we are talking about change, right, and I'm speaking about specifically changing the system, we have to recognize that, you see, the old norms and the old habits, sometimes you might have to throw them out. Now, our system right now is modeled off of a system from England.
The Westminster.
Right, Westminster system. Which is a system that they themselves don't even want to follow anymore. Right? But we want to be more British than British. Now, I don't see anything wrong with us electing, as I said, electing the members of the Senate so that political parties, individuals, whoever have to field candidates, right? You go into the Senate, you just like how they were able to block the legislation.
They didn't block it.
Yes, they did block
it. They didn't block it. It didn't pass.
But it was blocked.
It didn't blocked.
But if it
wasn't passed. It wasn't blocked. Use correct words.
Well, you can use whatever you want. You can say whatever
use
you want.
the correct words.
Right? But it did not pass because brave Senator Franklin and Senator Crystal Drakes and some of the other independent senators, they decided and said, look, I don't agree with this legislation and I'm voting for this. Alright? Now, in my view, Barbados needs serious constitutional reform. We have needed it for quite a while. I find that every government on a political platform, they are very quick to say that we can set about on this program and we can set about on that program. But when they get into office, they seemingly forget about those promises.
So you think we should go to being a republic?
Of course. It should have been done since 1990.
And what are the benefits of a republic?
Nothing. You just move your governor general to
so you really feel comfortable that your Royal Barbados Police Force, when Prince Harry and Prince William and Prince George come down to Barbados, and it's a Prince George, that little boy,
I think they're criminal.
Right? That big men in this country who are 50 and 60 years old got to look at that little boy and salute, because I need you to remember this. When you swear allegiance, you don't swear allegiance just to the Queen. You swear allegiance to the Queen and her ears. Right?
Ears and successors.
Ears and successors.
But
so
what's the point?
No, the point is that our army, our police force, anybody in Barbados who is serving the crown should be swearing allegiance to the people of Barbados, because we live here. This is our country.
All right,
those people. Listen.
Let me get back on track.
No, I am on track.
You're on
right.
track.
I am on track. We need to have a black consciousness. We need to recognize who we are. Be proud of our skin. Be not afraid of those because that they come and tell you all
Black Lives Matters movement. Carrie Jordan.
It's about being realistic. You must be proud of your skin color, and you must be proud to support your own.
You see Lawrence's statue here? Hello, you see Lawrence's statue here?
It's not about Lawrence's statue. The fact that you are and defending Her Majesty and her successors and heirs frightens me.
Defend, but I said about defending Germany, you going off?
So one said here that because the Senate is elective doesn't make it more effective.
I don't agree with that.
Which is true, because we have elected MPs.
But not effective. But here's what I think what I would look at though. Who moderates in Germany always moderate. Sorry, is it true, Gerald? The problem is that with that elective, it doesn't. Yes, we may not get the effectiveness, but what I think we will get is the balance of power in terms of legislation being passed, things being passed properly. Gerard is a good thing his friends be here, boy. Listen, so at the end of the day, if you have that, I think is where we have to look at one, the balance of how we see things, and not the control of how we see things, and that's what we need to bring in the Senate, the balance. And as I said, I don't think a lot of people really understand the real essence of Senate. So a lot of people a lot of misunderstanding about their ineffectiveness. what they're there for. No, I tell you, misunderstanding of ineffectiveness and the purpose of it. So, Kerry, we looked at the statistics
of bills passed in the U.S. The pass rate is horrible. It shows
it slowed down governance in small country. Well,
so
it might be a fact.
You just mentioned that bills will be passed. Well, it's not who's to say that they will be passed.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm looking at the balance in how we see things as it relates to government in terms of not having a control. It doesn't prove effectiveness. It doesn't prove ineffectiveness. It doesn't prove that because the U.S. have a slow rate of passing, but that we will even have a slow rate of passing bills as well. We don't know because we've not tried, and I think oftentimes the challenge that I face with Barbados is that we do not try.
You think it'll be any faster than the ruling government?
I don't know.
You know, Kerry failed to mention here as well.
We need agility in governance.
In America,
balance. Sure, where agree, Kerry?
Right. There's a horrible pass rate. You know what? Right now the Republicans control the Senate
and the Democrats control the House of
Representatives, right? The Democrats put through some of their poo-poo legislation sometimes, and the Republicans put through the real legislation through the Senate. Now sometimes there's
What did the Republican put through poo-poo things too? What are you trying to say me?
No, I kind of support Republicans.
Well, you support Trump. So
Trump will win.
You support Trump too?
Trump will win.
You say.
Listen,
Trump got me worried.
It was said already, right? It was said already that Kimar that you to swing with the type. And now here again in the US, you're swinging with.
No, I'm not with you. I'm not a Biden fan, but I'm saying to you, I supported Trump for the 4-year term. I don't support you for another 4 years.
Why?
Because I just saw that. I don't think that I want him as the things that he's been offering and things that he's been doing.
Trump can do it? You think Trump
can do it? As I said, I'm not giving.
Obama for 8 years and he do nothing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is I gave him his 4-year term as a businessman, as a new non-political person, as a person that had vision, as a person that grew business, as a person that was about America. I gave him that. No, I can say that. I mean, as I said, you can vote for a party today and don't vote for them tomorrow.
You know, you stop man and don't speak better than Trump.
No.
That's for we.
Don't ever say that. But Trump is one of the best speakers around the world.
Okay. Let me stay back on track. As it relates to
I won't give you that, Jermaine.
As a man that's repeating the same way over.
Come on, guys.
Forget what he said last.
As it relates to Trump and the U.S. election, what is okay to laugh at Trump and what's not? I think that the choice of president has worldwide effects, right?
Of course,
it does.
Whoever the U.S. elects will affect us down here in Barbados too. So don't think that we are excluded.
Just like how having Strait last affected Barbados in the whole amongst the Caribbean and the region.
Let's speak
the truth. I'm to the fact.
My thing is though.
Look at the difference between Mali and Front Strait.
John Denny on. Hold on. Let me hear Kimar.
Right. So
you wicked.
My thing is we in Barbados need to educate ourselves surrounding U.S. elections. U.S. is basically our largest trading partner.
They are.
And
I am surprised that he would say that.
You can complete. Finish your statement, Kimar, okay? He's Trump Jr. You got to fast check it too.
U.S. is not our largest.
You might have got Melvin on here, daddy. Melvin, who you laughing at,
Jeremy? Our largest trading partner is CARICOM. We sell $550 million per year in goods to CARICOM.
Okay, Jeremy.
Let me
rephrase my statement.
The
U.S. is one of our largest trading partners.
It is not.
The U.S. is one of our largest trading partners, and we import significant goods within our economy from the States. And the policies of whoever control the government will affect us down here. So
just let me put it to rest that the U.S. is our largest trading partner based on the Barbados major export. And then we have Trinidad, then we have United Kingdom, then we have Jamaica.
So how you take that?
I just say I fast check everything. Good. No, but I want you to defend me.
True.
So go ahead, Kimar.
Right. So
I done it fast checking already quick by he.
So my thing is,
See what he's a Trump supporter?
These I am giving the alternative.
All right, go ahead, Kimbar.
okay, so my thing is, we in Barbados need to take advantage of whatever opportunities come up for us to educate ourselves surrounding the U.S. political system. So is a Joe Biden president good for us policy-wise, or is a Trump president good for us policy-wise, right? I may have my personal issues as to who should be president, but when I look at the policies that each party is looking to put in place, we now have to speak towards who will benefit Barbados and who will benefit the region. So even in the UK with the Brexit opened up a large can of worms for Barbados, because the UK now is a large trading bloc out of Barbados. The UK is no longer in Europe. So whatever implications the Brexit had for Europe will trickle down to Barbados. Tourism is on the decline, as we know, and trade may be on the decline. So what kind of treaties, what kind of arrangements can we devise within Barbados to help us benefit from the fallout from the COVID?
I always think that it's naive when we don't look at the. I mean, I'm an avid watcher of the American politics. I'm an avid follower of Trump and a number of other key players, especially in the U.S. politics, on my pages. Because again, these things do trickle down. These things do have an effect when you hear CARICOM, or when you hear Caribbean is mentioned, or when you hear small states are mentioned. When you see how the economics and the economics plays out in the states, and how a lot of things play out in the state, it does have a trickling effect. So I always tell people, get involved. But as I said, I supported Trump very much so in the last election. I'm not a big fan of supporting him in this election. And I think it goes with obviously giving somebody a chance to be able to show what their worth was and to show what they had to bring. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that there was a lot of economic stability he brought to the United States. There was a lot of employment. There was a lot of jobs that came back to the States. There was a lot of manufacturing that came back to the States. And obviously because of those strong tariff
Put America first.
put them strong tariff thing and put in America first. So don't think for 1 minute that the employment rate in America did not grow. I don't want to be naive to think that because we hate Trump or because we hate how he speaks that he didn't that he was an ineffective president. I think he was an ineffective speaker. We think he was ineffective in how he brought across himself. But there were some things that he really did when he said American first. American did become first. And even when he went to some of the manufacturers that manufacture cars and said, hey, if you car manufacturing overseas and you feel you can come through the States with them at $0 or low taxation, I can tax you harder than if they was built in the States. And a lot of people like Ford and a lot of those things brought back a lot of jobs to the States. So we have to look at that. And I think that people don't follow the history, the thing. Go up on the White House and you can see a lot of things that he's done. Again, I don't support everything the man do. But I can say I don't always want to look at the negative, but there's some positive.
Yeah, I'm not a supporter of Trump, but I'm one that believes that Trump can win the next election.
I do believe he can win.
Another issue that
would probably Bernie. We're happy that Bernie won.
Another issue that we have to look at too in the Caribbean is that of China and the positioning of China to take up a large strength within the global economy going forward. How do Barbadians feel about trading with the Chinese? I know in Jamaica, locals have a fear of Chinese because the Chinese are taking up
we probably want
a large chunk of investment in Jamaica. So how do we as Barbadians feel towards the Chinese and the Chinese investing
heavily? I think we're one of the few countries that do not have a strong no.
Have you put a cumulative Barbados exports more to CARICOM than it does to the United States?
No.
So where was I wrong?
Because you're looking at it wrong. Wait.
No, I'm not. I said CARICOM. CARICOM is a collection of 14 countries.
Fair enough, but we done put the point we were trying to put on that.
So I was never wrong. I knew I was right.
No, you're not right. But
I am right.
The whole thing is that
still
wrong.
CARICOM.
But hold on, Jeremy.
We can do that.
I never said
all
right.
We are Chinese and the Chinese.
So the Chinese, one of the biggest things, like I'm very fearful of Chinese. I think it's one of the only countries that I know that does not have a huge Chinese presence. Whereas like Jamaica, you could go to every states in the world and find every states in the United States and every place in the world and find the Chinatown and this. Chinese are generally people that invest in the economy to hold something. One of the things I know that they control a lot, or they try to control a lot of, is your port of entry when you can't pay them back. and that is factual on any business network you
Yeah,
check.
happened.
But that's really Belt and Road initiative that they have.
They control a lot of ports and stuff. And I mean, there was a part of some ports in Sri Lanka and other things like that when I visited those countries. And by the time I left, some these countries that they couldn't pay back their debt, they had to be giving up their ports of entry. Mainly seaports. Mainly seaport is big control.
So we rather owe the IMF or we rather owe the Chinese?
I don't know. Well, I can't say because everything will go pro and con to see.
You know, it's interesting that you speak about Chinese.
But the IMF may be looking at developing. While the Chinese may not be looking at developing.
It's interesting you speak about the Chinese and controlling.
I think you the Chinese sometimes.
Right. Yes, the Chinese have been known to take control of certain ports within
shipping routes and
all, as you just mentioned, the Belt and Road Initiative would be desire that they need to control certain key ports so that they can control not only the shipping routes,
the airport,
the pathways and things.
But the airport has been.
But when you look at Barbados, if I remember correctly, part of this IMF deal, right, and part of the mandate of the IMF is to promote more capitalism, all right. And as part of this IMF deal, our airport right now, isn't it being
out to tender?
Right, out to tender for private concessionaire, right? The port is doing the same thing as well.
Seaport.
Right, so Seaport is
I
doing
think
the
that
same
was
thing.
squashed, but yeah.
Right, but the reality is that you are talking about the Chinese and saying that the Chinese out to do this and out to do that. But the Americans and the Europeans, they do the same exact thing. You know the difference between them and the Chinese? The Chinese are more open with it, but at least, and I heard the African leader said this once, when people criticize the Chinese, they come in and they want to give you loans to restructure your debt. So they're taking good money and throwing out bad money and converting it back into good money. All that while they're doing nothing to help the people in the country. The Chinese come in, the Chinese will take control of your port, yes. They will take control of your seaport, yes. I mean your airport, yes. No, but even take control of like they built the African Union building at Addis Ababa, right? So people said, well, they're trying to take control of the African Union. But the same Chinese built a railway system which is second to none in that part of the world. They build roads, they build hospitals. People complain that they build stadiums. They actually do developmental projects that
but those are developmental projects. Some of those are developmental projects that lead to for because they're not going to bring their people into development. They're not going to bring their people into project places that develop.
When you sit,
they develop at the benefits of them.
Buy into the logic and the jargon of the IMF, the World Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, and all these multilateral institutions.
Everything has a pros and cons.
Which were set up to continually re-enslave persons around the world.
Jeremy, you can't
through economic depression.
How they could be
what you are doing is enabling those people with the nonsense that they push down our throats. Yes, the Chinese.
I think you better start getting the marches though.
Right? No, the Chinese are probably doing it. Right?
I think you better start getting the marches.
When the Chinese do it, you know what? At least the Chinese bring social institutions, which, as I said, touch the hearts and lives of people. And
we're not saying that they don't.
You have to look at developing your people. Stop talking about developing economies. And remember, you got to develop people households, people pockets, people health, people road. Look, I drive with a car. I want to make sure that my car drives on good roads.
Okay,
you want to get to a hospital. You want to doctors. They got machinery. They got everything there.
Alright, we get your point. We get your point.
My thing is,
you talk about the sound and marches though.
My personal experience with the Chinese.
So you must think there's a road march.
I mean, it's correct. That's how they move the people. Yep. They have to do projects to get the people to come out of their country, to come into your country, live, and do work on the projects.
Good. So that was my
there was an example.
My experience at secondary school. The Chinese built the school where we were at school.
The school you went to?
St. Michael's School. They lived on the premises. They cooked on the premises. They did everything on the premises. Right? So my thing is, if we borrowed, and the Chinese invest in Sam Lars as well too. So if we do deals with the Chinese, if we take money from the Chinese, they bring their people into Barbados to build the project, and Barbadians are hardly ever included on the project. My thing is, if you're going to have the Chinese here, the Chinese need to teach us the skills that they have, which they don't, right? Which is the biggest problem.
So where's the development development that
Germany
Jeremy
talking
talking
about ETL.
I lost.
Alright,
So my
let me
thing
put you
is
right.
Wait. There's also the Confucius Institute up at Cave Hill, where the Chinese build a massive state.
That look like a hat.
Building where they provide opportunities for
Mandarin
Barbadians,
and all
but not
that.
only Barbadians, but regional students, international students to come and learn Chinese within the building. They also provide scholarships for persons who want to go and study in China. I participated in the first ever Barbados China debate competition against the School for Politics and Law in China at Cave Hill. Boy, we lost with 2 points.
Okay.
Very good, man.
So my thing is, I was the lead prime minister. But my thing is though, but my thing is though, at Cave Hill, the new Confucius Institute has members of Chinese on the board. They have local Barbadians on the board, and they are trying to basically open opportunities for investment, open opportunities for trade, and I would say open opportunities for the future of the country. And speaking to these persons, these representatives of China within the forums, they are saying that they do not come to harm. They don't come to purposely colonize anybody. Whatever arrangements they make come down to that of the leaders of the country, what they are willing to sign off on. So what we may bash the Chinese on their head, we need to bash our leaders too about what you're actually agreeing to with the Chinese, because the Chinese just can't come and say, well, can we taking over everything?
That reminds me of the Sandals deal with the government.
You know, it's interesting that y'all are here speaking about Chinese, right?
We just speaking, having a conversation about bashing Chinese.
Equally,
I like Confucius.
Hold on. Equally, and Kimar Stewart, I will speak to you particularly because you are a young.
2 minutes.
Hold on, you're a young economic student,
Lord.
and you should know this thing better than.
Doesn't mean because you're economic student.
No, he had to do the history of MF.
I just say you don't trust the Chinese.
Right,
What's fair enough?
right? But the reality is that these multilateral institutions I just spoke about, right? Whilst the Chinese come with an agenda, they have been coming with an agenda since 1946, when most of them were formed, right? And their agenda is so transparent. No, you can check it. There was the Bretton Woods Agreement. Look,
he's right.
After World War II. After World War II, the IMF was formed and the World Bank was formed. And they were counter institutions. One is American, one is European. Right? And that is why no matter what happens, the head of the IMF will always be a European, and the head of the World Bank will always be American. Right? No, I can say this. But these institutions, they promote the propaganda and the ideology of the West. Right? When they make agreements with us, those agreements are never in the best interest of the host country. Those agreements are usually in the best interest of Europe or America.
But I don't know that.
You just spoke about passing on knowledge. When those people give us money, right? The money got to be stored in a bank of their choosing. The project directors have to be from their host countries.
Oh, that's fine.
The persons who have all the technical knowledge got to be from them. You know what we get in Barbados?
Money?
No, we don't get money. Because the consultancy fees go back to them. When they do road work, when they execute road works projects in Barbados, you have to realize, right, that you will see Carl Williams or Ray Say. They will be doing the actual milling and paving the road, because it is too costly to bring in machinery in Barbados when Carl already already got the machinery. But when you look at who did the design, right, and it gotta be fair, who did the design, who did the planning, who did all these different things. They are always from those countries, right? And if you look at the amount of money that our local construction companies would get out of these projects versus what these other persons get.
All right, Jeremy.
We get a minuscule amount. We are robbed. It is our taxpayers' money that is being wasted and siphoned off from us by these multilateral institutions. So we got to be fair to ourselves.
All right.
We got to recognize what is happening to us.
You know what? It's not we that is being in the room signing these contracts. Ain't me, ain't you. It is our governments, past and present, and them would know better about these multilateral agreements.
But they don't operate so.
And all of these things, I've been privy to certain things, but at the end of the day, we are just mere people. I believe that, as somebody say, you need to go get your commercial. Right? Today, IMF goes non-operable. Germany, I don't understand your argument. The way very low. But again, these are all opinions more than facts. And we will have to get facts to substantiate most, if not all, of what Jeremy has said. But I agree.
Jamaica is a typical MS case. They destroyed our country.
But I can't say so because I don't know. If I don't have the facts, okay. If I don't have the facts, I don't speak to it. But we understand. People have been saying so for years. But I think it's just the onus is on our leaders to make the right decision as it relates to the benefits of our country and the benefits of those who they serve. You have nothing to bring to the table and have nothing to negotiate. What do you expect? Jermaine gave the others a chance. I agree you need your own show. I agree with you, but I don't think it will be as popular as this show. Because I think he will go and fact check himself and query himself and slap himself. But anyhow, the point is we drift far from union because somehow he decided to take part in two marches and he feels he's the advocate now for every black matter, not even black life matter, but every black matter.
But I want to touch on something.
Germany might be new Black Panther.
So we get black matter. I would.
know that you brought up the Black Panther.
But let me touch on it for 5 seconds and then we shut off at 8:30 people.
I want to touch a bit on Africa. And given the fact that Trevor Prescott was now appointed the special envoy for
one of the LBs
for reparations. No, this is a serious thing. I heard the Prime Minister speaking about direct flights into Ghana and opening basically a bridge for Caribbean people to travel into Africa. I think that is quite amazing for us. I will look forward to the benefits.
So you're commending the Prime Minister for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So I actually look forward to the benefits of linking the Caribbean back to
motherland,
to the African region. I think there are great opportunities for trade. I think there are great opportunities for cultural links and cultural heritage.
Definitely.
I think that Barbados need to take the opportunity, if possible, to go to the African countries. I think even basically we could take our skills to go over there. And
you think that Mr. Prescott is the best person for the job?
I don't know. It's left to be seen.
That is a new position.
He's probably the only one seen to be more connected to the roots and the Africa
in Parliament
in Parliament than the others. So,
what is connection to Africa?
I just think that's
what is.
I think that's
you just said he seems to be the only one who's connected. I asked you, what is connection to Africa?
No, because I think because of the Pan-African movement, because of the movement.
Who else speaks like Mr. Prescott when it comes to these
African and black people and stuff like Jermaine, because he did too much, so he
I can't say with Jermaine.
I don't think that there's much. I don't think that you could disagree that he's one of the foremost people that talk about black people and the involvement of black people and where we feel controlled and led by the Queen. So he still,
but we need to move from talking
we
to
get
action.
We get the point. 2 marches don't make you an advocate.
It's not marches. Y'all people are missing the point.
But we get you.
We have been listening to talk.
So we don't want to run.
We need
what
action.
We don't want to run and make some difference.
What has Jermaine Beckford done? To
liberate black people?
Yes.
I don't know, but I just said if he want to go and run, I think that he should go and run and then make his voice be heard.
Jermaine, what have you done?
I want to ask. Hey, I want to ask.
Let me stay
but at the end of the day, no, it was. I just want to go back to I just want to go back to before we end. In the next 7 or so minutes, just go back to union quickly and just give some solutions. We always like to end the show with solutions. The things. What I would like to see, and we could all spend 2 minutes on it. What I would love to see in the unions, just going back, but that guys, Jermaine have carried this far off.
Actually, where Jermaine carried us more so than where we were.
I would like to see, as I said at the beginning, more a PR as my guy said. I would love to see more PR in the unions, and I would like to see where unions do not give the perception to the people that they're there more to benefit themselves or political gain than to benefit than to benefit the people. I would like to see more actionable things in the thing, more coming back to the public and speaking to the public as pertaining to matters. Speaking to your members, they understand everything cannot be brought to the public. Everything cannot be said in public. But I feel somebody sugar, right?
I'm not hyper.
So at the end of the day, I would love to see some solutions around that. I would like to see some more public engagement. You know what I would love to see out to the unions too? I would like to see the unions open more doors for town hall meetings where they open to public scrutiny and they open to public thing. I would also love to see the solution of also including top union leaders in terms of the integrity life legislation, see that they represent a large body. I would also like to see, agree to new more educational programs around the union and what the union stand for and sharing those ideas.
You remember the Labour College that we had up
at St. Philip? Yeah.
I think that was excellent.
I think it's still going though.
It's still, but it's not as
active as things. So we'd like to see more Labour
engagement. Well, right now the hall is being rented out to events planner, mainly hosting
event.
Actually, it's weird, Barbara. The part will hold the next conference.
Okay, but you know what? Yeah, you know what I would like to you know what I would like to see as well. If I may, don't plan to be rocks at me. I would like to see Labour at some level taught in the school. I don't know if it's done, but some sort of Labour engagement, because especially in the fifth form, sixth form,
you're talking secondary school?
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
if here posting a lot, he said in America things unions fought for are now being destroyed.
Well, fair enough, we can understand that, but because they don't have strong leaders. But in terms of that Labour being taught in school at the fifth form, because you're talking about fifth formers or upper fifth people leaving to go to secondary, going to job, because not everybody goes out into polytechnic, not everybody goes out into university. Some people go directly into a job.
I know about, for me when I went to college, I did carrying politics, and that was the first introduction into politics.
Into Labour.
And based upon being at school. Politics in general, not just Labour, but politics.
Okay. Yeah, like
it's not taught in our secondary schools.
Politics. I think we even remove religious education. I think we need to go back to religious education.
Remove from where?
Off of the curriculum, I think it was. It's still there. Oh, good. So I thought I heard it. Sorry, but I would like it to be put up.
At St. Michael's School, very just like you.
You went to St. Michael?
Of course, I did, and not only did I go to St. Michael's.
Oh, right. Go back to your point.
Right, but I got a distinction in history. I make it up, you know.
For just writing the request answers, but you hand.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Right. Go back to your point. Go back to your point.
Yeah, break for your shirt.
Break for real.
You see, regular. Go ahead, Jermaine.
But
Go ahead.
Politics was taught.
Give me a 2-minute wrap up, Jermaine.
Oh, will be
the solutions. Only solutions.
In terms of solutions.
Put Jermaine as the next union head.
Nah, let me see.
Shit, no.
We spoke this evening about the union movement, and we spoke about we versed off a bit into the IMF and the Chinese. With reference to the union movement, I would like to see union leaders be more transparent. Recognize that they are here to represent the interests of those who pay them and not
solutions.
Right, that's a solution. Solution. The union leaders have to, the union members have to be very careful as to who they elect as union head. With reference to the Chinese, I say let the Chinese come in.
I tell you, on the union.
Hold on, I back Kimar. We should get more direct interaction with our African brothers and sisters.
Wait, question. The union, the Chinese join the union?
No, it's not about the Chinese join.
No, I asked you, the Chinese join the union when they come here, or no, can I join?
They can't join. Right? But
that would be so funny. But
I'm wrapping up. I'm wrapping up. I also would ask Barbadians to read more and truly understand what these agreements that we signed with the IMF and World Bank and these other multilateral institutions, what they really entail on us, one as a people, and on our economies. That's all I would say.
As somebody saying that many schools don't teach religious education anymore, I think that needs to be brought back to the table. I don't care who disagree. That is something that needed. Values, morals, and everything. Kimar, go ahead, you 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
some solutions there.
So back to the point I made in the show about including the heads of unions. into the integrity legislation. I think it will bring great innovation and to curtail any, I would say, mishaps in electing leaders or unions who may not have the interest of the workers at heart. I think we need to return to a grassroots movement in Barbados. I think everything has become too top down, where we are looking at electing high profile persons who have the education but not the philosophical grounding, and they don't believe in what they preach. So if we could bring that, well, it's not a case of bringing it back, but if we could go forward with the thinking that we want to elect leaders who are for the people and whose interest is in representation, and not only at the level of union leadership, but in the level of schools, at the school boards, and the hospitals, through the entire Barbadian system. We need to have that grassroots movement going forward. And you know, I just wish for the day that in Barbados we actually look at developing the human element of our society. We kind of got stagnant to the point that we're looking left, looking right. And I actually want to congratulate again what the government did with the opening the channel to Africa. I think that is very, very excellent, and I would encourage Barbados to take full advantage of the opportunities as it relates to the Chinese. Just have an open mind.
I have no problem, James.
Right, just have an open mind, because the world is going in that direction, and I'd rather us not be left behind because of any prejudice or mistrust that we may have.
Sham, I agree. We need to teach some more history. Anything you want to demand? No. Yeah, the money. But yeah, so we had a really robust conversation. We wanted to look at the unions, and they said much more, because people said we don't stick by topics sometimes. They put much more because we look at a number of things, seeing that we were just a panel ourselves today. I do agree we need to look at a number of things in this country, a number of change. One of the things I want to impress upon people is that we are the people that are supposed to make the change. We are the people that are supposed to be the one supposed to hold our government and our union leaders and those who represent us in a large scale, to accountability. And I believe that we cannot think, or they should not think, that the public doesn't have an opinion. I remember I made a comment about the teachers, and somebody told me stay in my lane. It is not a matter of staying in your lane. You have I don't mind, because public opinion is there. I said it here tonight. What they do, call me, tell me stay in my lane too. We all have opinions. I think that is what we have to respect about each other. We have to respect that opinion. And we have to respect that these are opinions of people that may also have solutions. I may not agree with you. I may not agree with something that your union does, but doesn't do. But doesn't mean that the person does not have an opinion or solution that can be beneficial, because we already want something that are looking in. Wayne, I don't know what's the topic for next week. If you got one, suggest one, and we will go from there. I think we're supposed to have a guest next week, but if you have a thing, we will go from there.
Here, Melvin, I remember what Tyson said.
What is that?
Why everyone promoting going back to Africa? Africans do even want a spot. I mean, Melvin, you know that is not true.
In a case of
water song.
But I mean, like, we are educated people, and there are opportunities for us in Barbados to advance ourselves.
Not only Africa, any part of the world is advancement. I think the inter travel between Jamaicans to Barbados to the United States, there's opportunity to spread your wings.
Melvin,
last thing, please.
Melvin, if you got on a direct flight from Barbados to Guyana, it would actually take less time than it would take from Barbados
to England and then to Guyana.
Don't fool yourself.
Right.
We actually getting long road, and as black people, we just have to recognize that, you know, we will have to know our own and let them know us too.
Yeah, I don't mind any regional travel. I don't mind any opening doors. I would love to see the money.
I'm going next year.
I would love to. He just say so.
No, but anyway, for real.
We just love to see where the money that we have is not pegged to just the euros or the US more so. So we would like to see open opportunity, any that would diverse and help us and bring us closer to other people and other nations and other things. I've been all over the world, and I've had opportunity to see people.
You in Africa?
I've never been Africa, but I've been all over the world, to some extent, a large part of the world. But at the end of the day, There are people that we need to meet out there. We need to open and diverse, and we need to be populated. We can't do it through just what do you call it, procreation? Or just sex. We can't just do it through that. We have to have other people come in. But with that being said, we really want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. The show is growing. I just want to share quickly some numbers. I mean, on an average of on a month, we are seeing almost 30,000 reaches on a month between the shows. That is what we're doing, and we're not putting any ads on our shows. We're not growing by promoting the show through advertising. We actually just speak, and you guys just lock on. So we want to thank you guys. Facebook has recorded that we're growing faster than somebody that's paying for growth. Our post engagement is like 9%, which is not bad. Our page is like over 57% of likes. Wow. So we want to encourage you tonight, if you're on and you have not liked the page, like us, follow us, because you need to know when we come live. We are popping up. You've seen, I said, yeah, we've been pulled from the next reform. I hope you come in to discuss this as well, John Denny. But we don't mind. So we just want to encourage you, like us, share us, like us, follow us. We are on every Tuesday at 6:30. We should better start saying 6:30. No, this is a clock thing I'm working for people. Thank you.
So then we discuss this topic.
Yeah, a lot of people have been calling us as well about coming out. If the show is on, we are on every Tuesday, unless we have to postpone due to the thing, because we're all doing this voluntarily. But we want to thank each and every one of you for making this show possible. I'm your host, Kimar Safri. You also have on my right, I don't know that would be on your screen, but Damani. Small, we have Kimar Stewart, and then we have Jermaine Bedford.
Then it's a US boy.
Yeah, we could call you, and that's fine.
We could call you John, and you can speak to us.
Right? So we just want to thank each and every one of you. Have a pleasant, a wonderful night, and we ask that you also respect the COVID laws and do what you're supposed to do. Keep off the. I guess 6:30. He says, and follow what you have to follow. Until then, be safe, be blessed. Until next week, Tuesday. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys.